without the aid of tools such as scanning electron microscopes. And would you ever have guessed that some cockroaches not only care for their young, but feed them their own kind of milk? There's a lot to think about. The smaller the worlds we can see, the bigger our world becomes. This is a horizon-expanding book, that's for sure. And now, to make it easy, all you have to do is continue, savor the exquisite writing, and world upon world will be revealed. You'll be a bug lover in no time. Carl Safina. Introduction. Beyond the cute and cuddly. The lords of rats and eke of mice, of flies and bedbugs, frogs and lice. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Faust, Scene 3. Frankie, come quickly. There's a monitor lizard outside. My mother's voice rang through the house, immediately putting me on high alert. The image of an enormous carnivorous reptile slinking through my father's tulips leapt into my adolescent brain. I ignored the improbability of this thought and rushed to the window. Where is it? I scanned every corner of the yard. My researcher's heart was beating wildly. Reptiles were my thing when I was young. I was never that interested in ponies, and I never longed for a dog as a playmate. I was immune to the charms of bright-eyed puppies, wobbly kittens, or fluffy hamsters. As far back as I can remember, my favorite place to hang out was the huge terrarium in the aquarium at the Cologne Zoo, where the monitor lizards lived. I could have spent hours watching the lanky giants spread languorously on the concrete floor of their German home. Every once in a while, one of them took a dip in the enclosure's tank. That was about it for action. And yet I could not tear myself away. My parents and my brother, who was 2 years older than me, thought I was an annoying little weirdo. And thanks to my obsession, family visits to the zoo became something to be endured rather than enjoyed. We lived in Wesseling at the time, a little town on the outskirts of Cologne. Town was then, and is now, a generous description of this settlement on the Rhine. Huge chemical plants and oil refineries surrounded the approximately 30,000 inhabitants. Silos, chimneys, and flare stacks towered over the tallest buildings. At night, thousands of neon lights shining from the chemical plants and flares burning from the refineries made the whole thing look a little like the skyline of Manhattan. By day, unfortunately, it reverted to what it was, an ugly industrial area. We lived in a small estate of workers' houses that ended at the gates of one of the chemical plants. Both the plant and the estate were a stone's throw from the Rhine. All the children were strictly forbidden to go anywhere near the river, which in those days was basically an open sewer. Although the water quality in the Rhine has been steadily improving, thanks to ever more efficient sewage treatment facilities, there was one thing that was better back then than it is today. Our small industrial town, tucked in next to enormous factories, was full of front and back yards left to run riot, where a young boy mad about nature could discover something new every day. House martins raised their chicks in mud nests stuck to the walls under the eaves of our modest home. But these summer guests were so ordinary that I barely gave them a second glance. My mini voyages of discovery led me to more exciting things. Chirping grasshoppers, for instance. When I ran through the wild spaces with my friends, grasshoppers sprang out from lush, flowery meadows. We caught them and, I am sorry to say, subjected them to gruesome experiments. What would happen to a grasshopper, we wondered, if we threw it into one of the many spiders' webs? Web-spinning spiders were almost as numerous in the workers' estate as grasshoppers, beetles, bugs, and other insects. But an exotic lizard? In our yard? My desire to see my favorite animal in the wild was so great that I wanted to hear the words monitor lizard when my mother called me over. In German, the word for monitor lizard is Varan, and the word for pheasant is Fasan. My mother is Austrian, and when she speaks, a hard F